What exactly is an agentic funnel? So I tend to get a lot of questions, right? It'd be folks that's like, I see you doing a lot of stuff. You work in education, you do this in healthcare, you are here, you giving a talk there, you creating this. I do have a method, and it's called an agentic funnel. I like this term agentic because I grew up really, really poor, like a lot of you that's watching this. And I just made up my mind that my success just will not depend on another person. Just as a disclaimer, if you are happy with how you're doing things, you don't have to listen to any of this. But this is to answer the question for folks that have asked me how I do the things that I do. I use this method that I call the agentic funnel, and it has 3 levels. So let's start with level 1, and that's naming your experiences, your dreams, hopes, fears, all that good stuff. All right. It's the top of the funnel, if that's what we're thinking about. Everything is valuable that's happened to you. So everything goes into the funnel. That's your dreams. That's your hopes. That's your fears. That's your losses, your wins, all of it. It all goes into the funnel. This is what makes you uniquely positioned to do whatever it is that you're doing. Everybody else is taken. You have to be the best you as possible. And guess what? You are the best you in the universe. There's nobody else better. All of it has to go into the funnel. What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? What has your experiences taught you? What are you afraid of? What might you be reacting to in this type of situation? It's really important to know yourself. Level 2 is the actual funnel. In the funnel is where all that stuff gets processed. That's where all those things kind of come together. It's almost like baking a cake. Put in the ingredients, and now you're about to put it in the oven where all that stuff starts to react to each other. And level 2 is where I ask some really important questions. Is this getting me closer to my goal? If so, how? If not, what needs to be tweaked so it does get me closer to my goal, or should I just let it go? I also am somebody who really cares about where he comes from, and I like to help people. I want to help people. So is this helping the people that I want to help? How? Am I teaching people how to fish or not? Will they have a new skill? Will they have something that they can utilize once I'm gone? These are questions that I ask myself. So that's level 2. And when you do that process, after all that stuff you put in there, you're going to look on your notepad and see you got a lot of stuff down there. Well, I do. Level 3 is very important and is very special to me. Level 3 is your prioritized work. Here's the thing that I learned a long time ago, like as a kid. I read this somewhere. I don't know how true it is, but it stuck with me. And what I read is that most people set about 3 goals, whether it's a week, a day, whatever. They'll hit 1, maybe 2 of those goals. And even as a kid, what I said, well, what if I set 30 goals? Even if I only get 15 or 12 or 10 of those things done, that's still 3 times as much as the average person may set. This is the part where you got to be okay with being a loser. So I go to bed every night where I've hit a lot of different things off this list, but there are still some things that I didn't get done. Some of that stuff will roll over into the next day or to the next week or quarter. And some of the stuff might just roll off, and you got to be okay with that. But this is how I utilize the little bit of time that I have, the same 24 hours that everybody else has. And I have a lot of different interests. I love education. I love healthcare. I love basketball. I love helping people. I love traveling. I love Oakland and I love Chicago. And I'm trying to get and build something in Kentucky where I used to live with my grandmother. All of these things mean a lot to me. So I go through this process, and when I come out, my list is prioritized on the things that have to happen. And then there's a lot of things, a lot of nice to have. So one of my books was a nice to have that eventually got done. Energy Converters, my actual company, started out this exact same way. And now it's something that I get to just do. This might not be the process for you, and that's okay. Some folks asked me about it. I wanted to explain how I rocked out on it, and I gave it to you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm never going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to share my experience. So now you have one more navigational tool on your utility belt. It ain't perfect, but I'm in a whole different, better place than if I didn't do this process. And that's a fact.